So unless you've been under a rock for the past few weeks, you know that many people are currently questioning the future of the group CLC and Cube Entertainment's competence. If you don't know what's going on, here's a quick rundown. On December 25th, it was reported that Elky, a member of CLC, submitted a request to Cube Entertainment to terminate her contract. According to translations of the letter that were posted online, it was said by Elky's lawyer that Elky has, quote, actively fulfilled the responsibilities according to the contract, end quote, and that Cube Entertainment had, quote, violated multiple terms and conditions, end quote. The letter submitted stated that Elky was requesting the contract termination due to mistreatment from Cube Entertainment, such as failing to reveal the details of her income from activities to Elky, not paying her for her acting gigs, more specifically not being paid for her role in The Rich Son, being told that the company would no longer support CLC's activities as of February 2020, and providing no clear explanation or plan for Elky's future career. Many rumors circled about whether or not the letter was real, as Cube and Elky herself had yet to confirm this rumor, but on December 30th, Elky came forward to confirm the rumors, posting letters to fans in Chinese, English, and Korean thanking Cheshires and expressing her hopes for good news in the future. There's been much discussion about Cube's role in leading up to Elky submitting the request to terminate her contract, as CLC has had a very tumultuous relationship with their label. There are plenty who have argued in defense of and against Cube, as some people believe that CLC's struggle for success is due to problems with the group itself and not with their label. However, today we're going to dive into everything Cube Entertainment has done wrong when it comes to CLC, which is a lot. And we'll see that the current state of CLC is due to none other than Cube's own hubris and laziness. CLC has never been truly supported by their company. They went unknown and unnoticed up until their breakthrough with Hobgoblin in 2017, so much so that many netizens admitted that they did not know CLC debuted until months and even years later. It didn't help that Cube debuted CLC during a scandal the company was experiencing, and many believed that they were debuted in order to distract from the controversy. The neglect CLC received in comparison to Cube's other groups was obvious from the beginning. When CLC's albums would sell out, Cube wouldn't restock them, and to this day most of CLC's albums are permanently sold out. CLC still does not have an official lightstick or fandom colors, and they have no other official merch aside from the group's slogan banners. CLC is coming up on their 6-year anniversary, and they've spent approximately a third of that time on hiatus, with most of their hiatuses lasting 8 months or longer, their longest being 11 months. And there was little to no group content or activities to hold fans over between CLC's infrequent comebacks. Cube rarely had CLC on variety shows and had only one reality show in 2018, in comparison to other groups having dorm shows and vlogs. CLC has had no official tour despite the members talking about wanting to promote internationally, and the members offering to pay out of their own pocket to fund these activities.
We said that if we actually get into the Billboard chart, we will buy a ticket, a flight to America, and we will go there and perform for you guys.
Yeah.
Soren even went to Thailand to promote CLC with her own money.
I'm gonna have my schedule promoting CLC by myself here in Thailand. The company gave me some time for me to spend time here, so I decided to not only spend time here, I told them that I'm not gonna rest, I just wanted to work.
And as we all know, Cube sold the song Lavia and Rose, and it became IZ*ONE's song instead of CLC's. This resulted in a delay for CLC's comeback, despite the members having teased this comeback to fans, making it clear that they were preparing for this comeback up until the song was sold. And though they are coming up on their 6th year of activity, CLC has yet to release a full studio album, and it doesn't seem like they ever will. The treatment of CLC in comparison to a group they actually care about, like G-Idol, is jarring. Many couldn't believe that CLC was under such a powerhouse company like Cube, considering how poorly CLC were doing in comparison to other groups and artists under that label. CLC was often considered the forgotten group of Cube due to many people not knowing a girl group debuted in between 4 Minutes disbandment and G-Idol's debut. Cube has not made any efforts to improve their treatment of CLC throughout the years, and it seems unlikely that they ever will. Cube has been extremely inconsistent with CLC's concept throughout the years, and these drastic concept changes are largely considered by fans to be their biggest weaknesses, along with the lack of promotions. When CLC debuted, they were not the girl crush heavy group most people know them as today. From their debut up until the release of Hobgoblin in 2017, their concept was more colorful and girly. The release of Hobgoblin in January of 2017 marked CLC's first girl crush comeback, and it was also their first real breakthrough into the Western music industry, with Hobgoblin peaking at number 4 on World Digital Song Sales charts, and the mini-album released along with it, Crystyle, peaking at number 6 on Billboard's World Album charts. Many assumed that this would be the beginning of a successful career for CLC, as Hobgoblin was a hit, and it seemed obvious to most that girl crush suited CLC better than their previous concept, and that Cube would be able to read the industry and guide CLC CLC in the right direction. However, this was not the case, and on August 3rd of that year, CLC released the mini-album Freezem with the title track Where Are You? This comeback was a complete 180 from Hobgoblin, going from a bad party girl image to an elegant and overtly feminine concept. This comeback was not received well, and it went completely forgotten by those who weren't die-hard fans of CLC. The failure of this comeback speaks to a bigger issue with CLC, which was that Cube was trying to do the no concept with CLC despite having no clear goal, and despite not reading the room and realizing that CLC is good at girl crush and many people wanted them to stick to that concept. Groups like Red Velvet are known for having no concept and drastically changing their look and sound with every comeback. However, not all groups are fit for concepts like this, with CLC being one of them. The reason having no concept works for a group like Red Velvet is because they were designed to be that from the beginning. CLC, on the other hand, was being tossed around by their company from concept to concept because Cube didn't know what to do with them. Their concept changes served no purpose, they only happened because Cube couldn't get their shit together. Most people, including CLC themselves, wanted to stick to Girl Crush, and Sorn even gave a presentation to Cube about why they should stick to Girl Crush, and even said in an interview that she was happy Cube didn't change their concept for Helicopter, their most recent comeback.
What's the concept?
Yeah, the game. Especially now that with the whole logo change.
I really like this concept. Like, I'm really glad that my company still is keeping this concept. Man, I can't go through another phase of like having to change my concept again. I can't do that anymore.
Overall, CLC's inconsistency with their concept drastically affected their ability to amass and maintain popularity, and many fans of the group still fear that CLC will regress back into their older concepts because of Cube Entertainment. Eunbin and Elky's introductions to the group were extremely messy to say the least. Elky's introduction arguably went smoother, but Eunbin's was received poorly because at the time she was announced to be added to CLC when she was a contestant on Produce 101. This caused outrage among netizens who were tuning into Produce 101 at the time. The first issue people took with this was that it was clear that Cube never intended for Eunbin to win Produce 101, and her participation in the show was likely just a promotional tactic to bring attention to CLC. This theory became even more likely due to the fact that Eunbin's rank dropped significantly after she was announced as a member of CLC. Many were upset by this and criticized both Cube and Produce 101 for adding Eunbin as a contestant on the show, even though it was likely she never had a chance at being part of the final lineup. The second issue was despite the fact that Eunbin was eliminated on episode 10 of Produce 101, she was still unable to participate in group activities because of her contract with Mnet. Though her addition to the group was announced in February of 2016, she would not participate in any group activities until May 2016. Many felt as though the introduction of these new members to CLC was messy and disjointed and left people feeling unsure about CLC and their future. The way Cube handled the introductions of Elky and Eunbin was extremely careless. Adding new members to groups post-debut is always going to create some waves, but there was so much unnecessary controversy surrounding their addition to the group simply because Cube couldn't be bothered to introduce Elky and Eunbin in a way that made sense. Now that we've gone over the main points of CLC's mistreatment, let's debunk some myths around them, since a lot of people tend to take the "there is no war in Ba Sing Se" attitude when discussing their history under Cube Entertainment. This has been a narrative that has been repeatedly pushed by fans of G-Idol, who tend to get upset when fans of CLC point out the jarring differences in the way CLC is treated in comparison to G-Idol, a group Cube actually cares about. However, this narrative clearly isn't true, since CLC has talked openly about their company failing to do the bare minimum for the girls. Cube didn't put two of CLC's singles, Me and Devil, on iTunes until months after they were released, and fans had to ask Sorn why they weren't available, only for it to be revealed that she wasn't aware of this either. The members have said they paid for their own promotions, despite that clearly being a company expense. It's honestly ridiculous. If CLC has to pay to do their job, then what purpose do Cube Entertainment serve in advancing their career? They would be better off leaving Cube and trying to do this shit on their own. Hell, Elky literally said in the letter her lawyer submitted to Cube Entertainment that she wanted to terminate her contract because she was being mistreated. As stated earlier, she wasn't being paid for her acting jobs. Cube was not telling her the details of the income she was making, and she was literally told by Cube that they would not continue to support CLC, implying that she and the girls would just be sitting around waiting for their contracts to run out. What else do you want? Does the CEO of Cube Entertainment need to tattoo "I mistreat CLC" on their forehead so you guys get it? This has been a common claim amongst people familiar with CLC. Many argue that CLC is not properly promoted because they aren't quote-unquote worth promoting. They're not nearly as popular as G-Idol, and many people are under the impression that this is due to some fault of CLC's, when it's actually solely due to Cube Entertainment. CLC has no official fandom color, no merch, no light stick, no full album, no solo concert, no tour. They have little to no group promotions between comebacks. The members literally do more work to promote CLC than Cube does. I could go on. It's completely unreasonable for Cube, or anyone for that matter, to expect CLC to be the money-making seniors of their company when they literally have nothing. You can't expect an A on a paper when you turned in a blank sheet. Even when the members of CLC tried to be proactive and quote-unquote pull themselves up by their bootstraps, Cube wouldn't let them. The members of CLC paid out of pocket for their promotions because Cube wouldn't open their purse. And despite everything working against them, CLC has managed to amass a loyal fan base, and people are still eagerly waiting for them. The determination of their fans alone got CLC their first win. They have people who care about them. CLC's lack of popularity in comparison to other groups is Cube's fault, and Cube's fault alone. Cube spent more money on ads for Oh My God than they did for the entire Devil comeback. Lion, which isn't even an official comeback, probably cost more than all of CLC's comebacks combined. But the point is that Cube isn't broke. They have the resources to support CLC and they don't. And it's not like supporting CLC has been bleeding them dry for the last 6 years, because they've barely been doing any of that. Hence their albums being permanently sold out, having to pay for their own promotions, and Elky not getting paid for her acting. Cube is just shitty. They're not putting money into CLC because they don't want to, not because they can't. And with that, that is the end of this video. Let me know if I missed something. I know there's a ton of information out there about CLC's mistreatment, and I couldn't include all of it in this video, so feel free to comment down below. If you take away anything from this video, I hope it's that you all start being more critical of entertainment companies. Cube has gotten away with the way they treat CLC for so long because not enough people cared about them or acknowledged the mistreatment they were facing to actually organize together and demand better treatment for them. In the future, we can only hope that the members of CLC do what they think is best for them.